In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I had a dream the other night that Chuck gave me a hug. I don't remember much else about it.
We need to unpack this.
And then you woke up. I think it was like a sad moment, and Chuck came up and gave me a hug, and I immediately woke up because I know that's happening. I was like, "What is happening here?"
I would give you a hug in a trying
I've
moment.
never seen
a trying, or after a big win or a trying moment.
a big win.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Can they keep it going? Can the Razorbacks keep it going while Kentucky keeps sliding? Oh, my. Was that a turn of events in Lexington on Saturday? What happens from here? Chuck is in Austin to find out. Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 5th. It's going to get up to 62. I don't know. You know, it's probably not the same as if Chuck were in New Orleans for Super Bowl week, where I'm listening to all these national radio hosts who are staying up late accidentally. Chuck was in Austin, had a big dinner with, the people last night in the travel party, and who knows who else he ran into in his travels to the great state of Texas. But behind the Austin enemy lines, we find him holed up in a hotel room. Chuck, are you playing hurt? Did you get enough rest?
I got plenty of rest. I'm going to be honest with you. I was in bed early and thinking only of the show. You know how I am. And so
always the show first.
Yeah, I've not been to Austin in a while. We were down there for football, I guess. But I didn't realize this. But, it's been 35 seasons since Arkansas and Texas played a conference basketball game. And the last time they played a conference game down here was the Strolling with Nolan game. That's how long ago it's been.
Wow. Is that right?
Maybe they played in 91. Their last win here was the Strolling with Nolan game.
Right.
And then they played the next year, last year in the Southwest Conference. They split 2 games, and Arkansas won in Dallas at the conference tournament. And I think they played 6 non-conference games since then. But this will be the first league game since 91.
What are they saying about Texas basketball? What do we know about Texas basketball, just to get out of the gate here?
They've won 3 of their last 4. They're one of those teams that, I've watched them this year. They've you don't turn off the television and go, man, that is a great basketball team. They grind. They're kind of like a lot of the other teams in the SEC. I mean, when they make shots, they're pretty good, and when they don't, they're not. They're obviously better on their home floor, and they've been pretty good here. So it's going to be a tough chore tonight. I mean, Arkansas's got a tough week ahead. We knew when that Kentucky game hit that it was starting a stretch that was going to be very difficult. You're going to go on the road and play Texas, and then you've got Alabama, and you do get LSU in a game that you have to win. You got to go to Auburn in there somewhere too. So it's this is a tough stretch right now. This will be a tough game tonight.
Kind of a poll question for us today. Arkansas has got 10 left, at least 7 quad 1 games of those 10. How many remaining games in the regular season can the Razorbacks win? You called it, Chuck, after the Kentucky win, the win over Kentucky. You said, look out. It's telling you, these guys might go on a little bit of a slide here. I mean, there was a lot of emotional energy put into that game against Arkansas. And the air went out of the building, and at least temporarily, the entire program.
Yeah, I don't know what Kentucky's schedule is after last night. I haven't looked. But they, I'm telling you, the psychological effect of losing to Cal. And this week, I am certain, and I've not paid close attention, but I'm certain that for the first time, the Kentucky fans have questioned Mark Pope. And my guess would be that whatever they were saying Monday and Tuesday or Monday and yesterday before the game started, they're really going to say today. So they're in a tough spot. But, you know, nobody can really gloat in this league at somebody else that's struggling because it's probably going to be you next. And Arkansas has been through it, and other teams are going through it. And there's only been 1 or 2 teams. Well, you look at Alabama, you look at Missouri, and you look at Auburn. They're about the only teams that have not had a bad stretch in conference play. Tennessee's even had some periods where they've struggled to score. So, but yeah, Kentucky's going through it right now.
Well, Edwards filling in for Bart in the Chevy Situation Room. The Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room is, by the way, I let Bart know that Chevy of Fayetteville is now owning the Situation Room. Chevy, the official truck of the Chuck and Bo Show. And Bart is just absolutely losing his mind that he's got a partner, and he asked, well, does that mean I get a truck? And I told him to just pump the brakes, like one thing at a time here. Like, dang, we're trying to make a star out of you, and the first thing you do is ask for more. And by the way, can we get off COVID? Like, this is like bed rest. Get out of the house. He's like,
maybe come to work. Come to work.
House
we'll
arrest.
Talk about a truck.
Come to work. Exactly. So Edward, what do you have on Kentucky?
Well, before Kentucky, it is bizarre that Chuck is in Austin and Bart is still just not here, and it's just us two.
It is.
It's kind of weird.
It is weird, but luckily we've known each other for a long time, so I'm comfortable. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
It's not awkward, just the two of you in there together.
Well, it wasn't until he said anything. I hadn't even thought about it. Like, I'm just,
There's
I'm
just like an entire half of the studio that's empty.
It is empty in here.
But we've got a nice photo of Chuck standing at Bart's desk. So
yeah, Chuck and Cecil over there. Yeah.
I'm still waiting on the Bart cutout.
That does need to happen. Given he's missed more games than Luka at this point.
Look, let's be honest. This is not the last time Bart's going to get COVID or, like, miss a week or 2 or something. I mean, come on.
That's true.
I mean, it's going to happen.
Well, it literally is the COVID cutout from the COVID cutout year where they had all the fake fans in the stands.
So I think, it would be a good investment. I mean, at some point
it is a heck of an idea, and then I think it will make its way to the student section at a remaining home game.
Well, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Where's Bart?
Right. That's great. What do you have in the Chevy Situation Room, Edward?
Well, just Chuck, he said he didn't know Kentucky's record, so I'll bring up some stats here. They're 15-7. They're tied for 8th in the SEC right now with Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, and they sit at 4-5 in conference. And one of the top stories on ESPN this morning on the homepage called them a potential bubble team right now.
How about that?
Arkansas and Kentucky are very close.
Well, we got to continue to look at the standings too. And they, by the way, Chuck, you mentioned their remaining schedule at South Carolina. No. They host South Carolina, then Tennessee, and then at Texas, Vanderbilt, at Alabama, at Oklahoma, Auburn and Lexington, LSU, and finishing up at Missouri.
So kind of like everybody else in the league, save 2 or 3 teams, they're not done losing. That's the thing about everybody in the league. And Arkansas is in this group right now. I said this yesterday. This may not be a great week. I mean, who knows? You just got to stay in the fight. Find a way, in my opinion, to get to 7 conference wins. I think if you go 7-11, you're going to get in the tournament. But it's a long way from there. And you can look at the path. I mean, you look at what's left and everything, either 7 or 8 of them are going to be quad 1 games, and the other are going to be games that, the LSU game's the game you have to win. You'll get some benefit from beating a team like Mississippi State, even if it's not a quad 1 game. They're a strong quad 2 right now. So where those wins come from, it's hard to say because it's just been so unpredictable for Arkansas and for everybody else. Texas, again, sometimes you catch a team when they're playing well. Texas has won 3 of 4. So you got to realize they're playing well and they're playing on their home floor, and it's going to be a challenge.
I've never really looked at the standings like I am this year because of the way the league is stacked and how many teams we expect to get in. And teams are going to beat each other up, and there's going to be losing streaks and there are going to be winning streaks. But you're going to see teams kind of move around outside of Auburn, who won again last night, and they're 9-0, and Alabama's 8-1. Alabama comes to Fayetteville on Saturday, a great opportunity, air quotes opportunity for Arkansas. But I'm looking at the standings, Chuck, kind of like we do in Major League Baseball. How many games back are you? So now they're 2-6. They're 1 game back of Oklahoma and Georgia. They're 2 games back of Texas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. So you figure out a way to win 2 or 3 of maybe your next 5 or 6, and I think you're going to find yourself sort of right in the middle with a lot to play for in the remaining, 5 games. But how many games can they win of the next 10? And I think we're all waiting to see what kind of team shows up after that fascinating performance on Saturday, like just an electric performance. Can they play at that level? Maybe not, but can they play at a better level than they had been playing, making more shots, playing together, being connected? I'm interested to see what kind of team we get tonight.
Well, I am too, and obviously the matchup's going to have something to do with it. Texas is going to have something to do with it, but I'm going to be interested to see if they can make a shot or 2 early. I just felt like, and I think everybody watching probably felt like last Saturday night when Arkansas made their first shot, then made another one, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, they've got some confidence. Who knows what's going to happen, but they came to play. And, shots aren't everything. There's certainly other aspects to the game, but when you're on the road, you better make a couple of shots early because there's a pretty good chance the home team's going to be playing well out of the gate. Most teams don't start poorly at home, and so you better be able to match that.
So what to watch tonight, brought to you by Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville, is Arkansas at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. And Chuck will have the call on the Razorback Sports Network with his broadcast partner, Matt Zimmerman, who I'm sure was out having dinner last night. I saw Quinn Grove. He made the trip, and I thought, well, Chuck might be out late. They were at the Vince Young Steakhouse, and
can I be honest with you?
Pictures coming out. Well, I would hope so.
We take 2 planes in basketball, and needless to say, I'm on plane 2. And
but you are the king of plane 2. You are the host. You are the chairman of the second plane.
I wouldn't go so far as to say chairman, but my seat is in the upper half. The upper half of the plane, the front half. Long story short, our plane was delayed, and we got in late. And Z and I bailed on Quinn last night because they didn't go eat till like 8:30.
Oh, wow.
And it was just too late.
Yeah, well.
So I have not been to, in the interest of full disclosure.
I appreciate it, but I would have enjoyed a better story.
Well, I'm sorry.
I mean,
there is no story there.
What'd you get for dinner? Did you order something up to the room?
I went down to the team room.
Where the team had their food, the meal, the meal that they have catered into the hotel.
To the team room and,
you probably ate Chilean sea bass, a little bit of salmon, and a filet.
The thing about a team room is you've got a side of the room for the guys who are fine with their weight. It's more in football than basketball. Then you got a line for the guys that aren't so good with their weight. There's certain things that you eat and certain things that you don't eat.
And there was just enough spinach left for you.
Yeah, just enough. I love a good green vegetable.
Yeah.
So they eat well, very well, but they eat pretty healthy too.
Well, it's 6:15. We're going to take calls, text as we get through the morning. You're welcome to jump in here. We got a lot to get into. I mean, there's just tons of news and headlines coming out, including Patrick Mahomes getting grilled about the help the Chiefs are getting from the officials.
We need to go to
Media
Super
Day.
Bowl media.
We're gonna,
you mentioned that yesterday.
We
need to go.
I literally was thinking about it on the way in this morning. It's just going to happen. It's one of those things that if you're doing a show like this, you just go to Super Bowl Media Day and you do your show, but then there's just all the circus that happens around it, and things just fall into your show. But going to Media Day and watching or listening to, like, Jameis Winston was at Media Day asking questions yesterday.
That's all.
I mean, people, it's become its own circus, and everybody knows it is. We'll get into some of that next. Hey, it's tax season, and taxes are hard. Filing with H&R Block is easy, though. H&R Block, walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy on your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you at H&R Block. Chuck and Bo Show, it's Wednesday. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations.
Hey, Chuck, I made some good calls today.
You sure did.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweating 'em Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatingthemcosmetic.com and click on the Sweating 'em Edge.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year's sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year's sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Residential.
Patrick!
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. Our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I'm with Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, what promotion do we have going on?
We're putting on a 5K challenge. If you sign up during the month of February and ride at least 5,000 or more miles by September 27th, you'll win a gift card and a t-shirt. Riders who accumulate at least 5,000 miles and complete 3 check-ins will earn a $75 Wheeler Power Sports gift card. Fuel up, sign up, and hit the road. See our Facebook page for full details.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I mean, we are one extreme to the other. Either we're headed to wine and roses for the rest of our lives, or the whole world's going to hell. I mean, it's one of the two.
Just a really healthy mentality to have, too.
That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
February 5th. It's Wednesday. It's getting up to 62 today. It's already in the upper 40s throughout the great state of Arkansas, touching the hearts of Arkansans. Chuck Barrett is in Austin, and I'm Bo Mattingly in studio alongside Edward Corrin. Bart Pullman is no longer with us. I mean, not in studio.
He's with us in spirit. We'll never forget him.
He told me he's going stir crazy.
I'm sure he is.
I think we're going to get a better Bart. Bart's great, but I think we're going to get a better Bart when he comes back. I think he's ready to work again.
Well, sometimes you lose something you love for a week and a half. What's it been, 2-3 weeks? Sometimes when you lose something for a month, when you get it back, it's great.
Here's the poll. Put it on the poll question, Edward. Who's played more games this year, Anthony Davis, Luka, or Bart?
It's a close race.
I mean, who's been out more? By the way, watching Luka last night, I didn't watch much of the game, but, he didn't play. And so, he does his press conference and, says he has no idea this was happening, which somebody told me he just bought like a $15 million mansion.
$15 million house.
Like a week ago. Just closed on it.
Yeah.
Call Weichert. They're going to have to help him get out of that deal. I mean, my gosh. Clearly he had no idea this was coming.
I've read enough of this now, and I believe them when they say that. I mean, sometimes people say that, and, your first instinct is, well, he had to have a clue. But I don't think either one of them did. And when you read back the history of, Nico Harrison with the Mavericks and Rob Pelinka with the Lakers, I mean, they go way back, so to speak. And, we talk a lot about did the Mavericks do the right thing getting rid of Luka. I mean, that's debatable, and time will tell. But they sure didn't get in return what they could have. I mean, that's the part.
Yeah, they didn't shop it.
Baffling.
They just tried to get it done.
They got Anthony Davis and a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
For a guy that's been 5 years consecutively first-team All-NBA. And they should have gotten a lot more.
And everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first.
It's April 1st. Can you imagine? Look, can we just get on a human level for a second and not think about how much money he makes? And like at some level, humanity, you can't avoid it. You don't outrun it. You can mask a lot of things. You can overcome a lot of things with money or whatever. But at the end of the day, we all still are at some point alone with our feelings. And this guy's just got to be like whiplash, like smacked in the face. I mean, I'm watching him on the bench of this game last night, Chuck, and he just looks like he has no idea what to do. And just on a human level, I just felt for a second for this guy who's just like, one day you're the king of the town in Dallas. And the next day they're like, yeah, we're done with you. And by the way, to the Mavs' credit, they're refunding season tickets to people who want them back.
I saw that.
They're issuing, if you want a refund, because we got rid of Luka, here you go.
How does Mark Cuban feel right now? Probably not great.
Well, I mean, I think that they made a calculated
decision. It's not his team anymore.
I know it's not his team.
He's not the majority owner. Now, I don't believe for a second Mark Cuban would have traded Luka.
No, not at all.
I don't believe for a second he would have done that. Obviously, we'll never know. Now, look, if Luka goes to L.A. and just keeps being Luka, he's going to be as big a star. L.A.'s going to love him just as much as Dallas did. LeBron's going to be gone in a year or two, and it's going to be his team. And they are – I can't imagine Luka playing for anybody else unless it just turns into a disaster.
Everybody talking about his weight in Dallas.
Well, I'm sure that's right. And if you're trying to justify getting rid of someone, first thing you're going to do is point out all the bad things about it. And
all these relationship analogies.
I mean, I didn't I heard people talk about his weight before the trade, but I've heard more people talk about, how it's going to ruin his career since the trade. And now, look, he's carrying a lot of weight at 25 years old. He's not going to be able to carry that much weight at 30. He's just not. And so I suspect over the next 5 years you'll see him change his body to a degree. And but he's still going to be Luka. I mean, he's still who he is. And I just think you've got to let that happen.
Here's Shaq on TNT last night.
Fat Luka is better than 99.9% of all the guards in the game.
Fat Luka.
Fat Luka is better than 99.9% of all the guards in the game.
Yeah, what a world. What a world. Oh, man. Well, it was Super Bowl media day yesterday. And it never disappoints. Patrick Mahomes, like if I'm Patrick Mahomes, I can't believe that as the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and going into my third straight Super Bowl, that I got to sit here and take questions like this. But he does.
Patrick, for your whole career, you have had so many great people help you win. So who is your favorite ref?
That's hilarious. All the refs are great. All the refs are great. They do the best they can. And go out there and play the game the right way.
Is there one that you give a Christmas card to every year, possibly?
Not that I can remember. I'll have to talk to some of my teammates and try to figure it out.
You can't hear him very well, but it was really more about questions, and he just played it off with actually legitimate answers. Like, I don't remember
he answered
doing
it like
that.
it was a real question.
Yeah, he did. Is there – okay, I talked about at least the human element with Luka. Listen, there's a human element with officials. Like, they hear this too. Is there any chance in this game that there's an element where the Chiefs get hosed on a close call because the officials don't want to look like – I know for people that don't like the Chiefs, they wouldn't care, and they would actually celebrate that. But – Does that have any impact? And when we look back on Monday, will it have had any impact on how the game was officiated?
It might. Travis Scott asked a really bad question too. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Travis, what do you love more, Taylor Swift or phantom 15-yard roughing the passer penalties in the playoffs?
That's a good question. Anybody else?
Gosh.
He looks mad.
Well, this is what you get when you know how people say, Chuck, sometimes, like, I wish you guys would just ask the hard questions. Like, if we just turn fans loose on press conferences.
Just the ridiculous question.
Right. What is that? What answer do you want from that?
Well, the question to Kelsey, I don't even know what they were talking about there beyond the Taylor Swift part. But, with Mahomes, that's a narrative. And with the referees, you're right. They are human. Now, they're very good at what they do. You don't just show up and call the Super Bowl. But, yeah, I'm sure they think about that. I've just got this vision of, one of the guys for the Eagles just drilling Mahomes, like way after the play, and the ref just looking down there and shaking his head no, like everything was clean. Everybody wants to see something like that happen if you're not a Chiefs fan. But, hey, it's the Super Bowl. You just get asked questions like that. And I thought it was kind of interesting that, both of them, and all the players have to do this. You can't just, turn to them and go, man, that's the stupidest question I've ever heard. How in the world did you get credentialed for this? You can't do that. They know what, this is how it works on media day at the Super Bowl. You got to answer a lot of dumb questions.
6:30 on the Chuck and Bo Show, 877-377-6963. You can text or call the show. Chuck's in Austin, Edward and I in studio. Bart is begging for a negative COVID test. And he just, in his interest to protect us, which we appreciate, he's not coming in until he gets the negative COVID test. And I think we all support that. Now, why he's not, up early and, texting, what can I, hey, you guys need anything? Like, that happens late at, in the afternoon the day before. And, but I think he's taking full advantage, which, he should. Also, I heard he was on Dixon last night, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do with that. Maybe he doesn't care about those people. He's just out there, out of quarantine.
Yeah, I don't even know people got COVID anymore.
Yeah, well, apparently. The flu, COVID, whatever. Sometimes they don't even test. They're like, you're sick, go home. But, Bart's very careful, so we appreciate that. Hey, if you still haven't filed your taxes this season, your neighborhood H&R Block is open and available. Put our 70 years of tax prep expertise to work for you and get those taxes squared away at H&R Block today. Chuck and Bo Show back in a minute, 6:32. Good morning.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
5 seconds to go. Madden, right side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Qualls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. Qualls with a two-hand finish. Arkansas wins the ball game.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Jam Mart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Jam Mart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Jam Mart locations. And stop by any of the 6 Jam Mart locations in the area. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage, my mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 5-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
It's time to party. So come to the Party Place. Let's party.
The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're something else.
Yeah. Oh.
You're something else.
Well, what
fact,
do you mean?
Well, very few combine something and else quite like you do.
Okay.
Let me just put it that way. You're something else.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, I was at Blakeman's yesterday, seeing our friend Ben Blakeman. He said he saw you in Lexington.
Yes, Ben was there. He was happy. And, they were he had a group there with him, a crew.
I asked
him
in
Lexington.
what it was like and if he was going nuts and like running Kentucky fans out of the building, which I knew he would never do. He's way too classy and nice guy for that. But he said it was kind of, he didn't use the word weird, but what I got was like, as a Razorback fan, very few Razorback fans could get into that building because Kentucky fans have all the tickets and they're not giving them up. They won't even give them up to each other. Like, it's like a birthright. Like, you get to go to a Kentucky game. So to get in there as a Razorback fan is difficult. And he said it was like, you're cheering, but you're not trying to make too big of a deal of yourself because you've got 22,000 people, that are not on your side. Imagine what it's like playing in that. I just don't think we can overstate, but it's only one game, but overstate how big of a win that was for Arkansas and how deflating it must have been for Kentucky fans.
It's that way to a great extent on the road every time you go somewhere. But Kentucky's more than others because, as you said, they don't sell their tickets most of the time, and it'll be this way tonight in Austin. There will be a small smattering of Razorback fans behind the bench. Those are team-issued tickets. But you'll look around the arena tonight, and you'll see some smatterings of red, 2 or 3 people sitting together. You don't see that at Lexington. There were 6 guys that were sitting down from us, and they were all sitting together. And they paid well into the 4 figures for their tickets because I talked to them. And they were there. Those were the only fans I saw among the 22,000 or 23,000 that were there that were not the small gathering behind the bench where Ben was sitting. Now, again, it'll be a little bit different tonight, but not much.
It's one of the few games that I regret not going to. Like, looking back, should have gone to the game because of the experience. We're fortunate because of our work to go to a lot of games. And you appreciate it every time. But then there's some, like getting to go to the Rose Bowl, for example, for me this year, that are just different. You know, getting to experience that, just different for Arkansas to win that game. Now can they go back it up at Austin tonight? I mentioned Blakeman's. They've got their newly renovated 10,000 square foot store open because they think Northwest Arkansas deserves a place like that. And if you want to check it out, just to like go see it, they're having a grand opening all day on Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Free Prosecco, which is, that means Chuck's going to go with me. Yeah. Free Prosecco. They got Onyx Coffee. They got Onyx Coffee Bar all day long where you can just go have an unforgettable experience. If you want a sneak peek, just follow them on social at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's Jewelry, where luxury meets hospitality. I didn't tell you yet, Chuck, but we have a date on Friday. Prior to you're calling the Alabama game here on Saturday. You and I are going to go. We're going to go have some Prosecco. I've always wanted to have a glass of Prosecco with you since we started the show, just to celebrate. That and I wanted to do it in the beginning, for starting the show, but now I want to do it because we've made it this far and we're still together.
So we're going to celebrate, is what you're saying.
We're going to celebrate.
Going to have a little coffee, going to have some Prosecco, maybe a coffee bar.
Yes, that's right.
Sounds like a riot.
And look at a lot of amazing jewelry and just art and pieces.
I like Ben. I'm anxious to see their new space there.
So it's fabulous. So I'll let you know what time you and I are going to leave. I know it'll need to be early because you'll want to. What time do you have dinner on Friday? Like 5? 4:30?
4:30.
4:30.
Whenever the buffet opens.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
And get to bed. Hey, one of the keys tonight, you mentioned hitting a shot early, like they did at Kentucky. Had a huge impact in the game, hitting a couple of shots early. Is Nellie Davis really figuring it out? Are we about to get the Nellie Davis that everyone thought? Here's Kenny Payne yesterday previewing this game.
Nellie is a professional in mindset. In his mindset. He comes in every morning, he watches film, he works out every morning, he comes back, gets shots up after practice, before practice. And so when a kid is doing that kind of things, eventually it's going to happen for him.
Let's talk to you, the fan, for a second. Do you know where you are? Do you know where you stand? Do you know how you feel about your team? Or are you kind of trying to figure it out? Are you allowing yourself this idea that maybe that game turned the corner? Or are you waiting for tonight and maybe you're not even sure if you can handle watching tonight because what happened on Saturday feels too good to be true? Chuck, I sense that fans aren't quite sure. Like, I thought when they beat Kentucky that they would, not really, but they would close down Dixon Street and there would be a parade. And people celebrated, and then they just kind of went like, oh, okay, well, that was great. But, maybe that was just like a Super Bowl type effort, and what's going to happen now? And I was a little surprised by that.
Well, they were 1-6 going into that game. So I don't know that if you win even a game like that everybody's going to say, all right, well, the bad times are over. Because, look, I'm going to be honest here. I'm not sure. In fact, I shouldn't say I'm not sure. I'm very sure there's going to be disappointment before this regular season ends again. There's also going to be, I think, some more moments where it looks like they are what we thought they would be. You know, I want to sound a cautious tone here, but I also want to look at the big picture. There's 10 games remaining. This week's going to be a tough week. Texas is good. You know, I want you to look at what Texas has done the last 4 ball games. They beat Missouri. Missouri's only lost 2 conference games. They're 6-2, I think, going into tonight. They lost to Texas here. Then they stole one from A&M. I mean, A&M had a beat here in Austin, and they stole it at the end and won by 1. Then they lost by only 3 at Ole Miss. You know, they went to Oxford and lost by 3, and then they came back here and they ran LSU out of the building. So, which is what you're supposed to do when you play LSU at home. So, this is going to be a tough week for Arkansas. And I said yesterday, I still think you can lose twice this week and still get to 5-5 over the last 10 games. You've got to get, in my opinion, you've got to get to 7. I don't know that it really matters who the 7 are. Because when you look at what's left, I mean, with the exception of LSU and South Carolina, everybody's either quad 1 or Mississippi State, which may be quad 1 by then, high quad 2 now. So I think you've got to get to that total. I mean, first off, they got to get there, and then we'll have to see if that's enough. But we don't know until they get to 7 and 11, or until they get to 7. But I just think they've got to stay in the fight.
Yeah, those are great points. I would just add this. You want to win the game, obviously, tonight. But I'm looking a little beyond winning as well, because some of these losses, it just felt like they weren't there. You know, like you're watching Carter Knox on Saturday, and you're like, that's the guy. Okay, that's the guy. I'm not saying he hadn't done it at all, but like in conference, you're like, that's the guy. Ovisic,
he's 18.
That's the guy. Yeah, and Nelly's, everything's brand new in terms of your teammates and where you are, and the new NIL deals and all that stuff. But what I'm looking for is like, are they going to keep being that guy, the guy they thought they were coming into the season? I mean, wins and losses are going to go up and down, but I think for a lot of Hog fans, there wasn't a lot of hope prior to Kentucky because you weren't seeing that dude show up. And when your dude starts showing up, you start going, okay, I can kind of get into this now. Yeah, I want to win games, but I got a reason to watch now because they might get beat, but they're going to get beat and not just lose the game because of their ineptitude. And so maybe I'm interested to see how Chuck that plays out tonight.
Hey, Fayetteville Auto Park, guys, we were talking about the Chevy Situation Room a little bit earlier. We're excited about that. Bart's excited about that. He wants one of those new trucks because they're the best-looking truck on the road right now. Chevy truck, certainly. That new Silverado looks great. You know, they've got great brands at Fayetteville Auto Parks. Why they've been around as long as they have been around. Honda, Acura, Chevy, Toyota. Big pre-owned selection. You drive by right now, and you'll see a great selection of automobiles. You're going to get a great deal. That's a given. You're also going to get great service after the sale. It's an award-winning service department. It's also an award-winning collision department if you have to have that somewhere down the road, too. Your one-stop automobile headquarters in Northwest Arkansas. Exit 67A. Check them out at FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
6:48, it's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our Hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
That's special.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics.
Now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars. We do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, Ty Richardson for American Patriot Promotions. They have their Berryville Gun Show coming up Saturday, February 15th and Sunday, February 16th at the Carroll County Fairgrounds in Berryville. Tickets are just $10 per person for the entire weekend. Only $8 for veterans, military, police, and first responders. Children 16 and under are free. For more information, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
And so they run with it because it's red meat. And these guys know when they say it that people are going to run with it because it's red meat.
I just had a vision of people running with red meat.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That's what you would have seen if you hadn't been delayed at the Vince Young Steakhouse last night in Austin, Chuck.
Yeah, I probably should have come up with a better story on that. You're right.
We got people, it's okay. We got people on the wait-and-see train for the Razorbacks. Texts coming in. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we lose tonight and then get up and beat number 1 Alabama. This team plays up to star moments. That's certainly one take. Edward in the Chevy Situation Room says Arkansas hasn't won back-to-back games since
December 21st and December 30th.
Over a month since they've won back-to-back games.
Against non-conference opponents, North Carolina A&T and Oakland.
North Carolina, AT&T, and T-Mobile Northeastern Tech. Back-to-back wins there over, wireless carriers.
I told myself during that North Carolina A&T game, do not say AT&T. Because I knew at some point I probably would. But
yeah.
I think I made it through without it, if I remember right.
They had a win back in November over Cricket Wireless Tech as well.
Yeah.
But no, it's in conference play. Can they win back-to-back tonight? More of this coming up almost 7 o'clock.
You know the sound. You know the place. And you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Let me grab my car keys, and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, expected to see cloudy skies at least early with a chance of some showers and even a few patchy areas of drizzle. Limited sunshine throughout the afternoon, low 60s north, upper 60s south. Partly cloudy sky later on tonight. Overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Sportsman.
I'm a fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
What if I told you that you could get a beer at the movies?
I've heard about that too. I keep up. I just choose not to participate.
Well, what if I told you you could get a cocktail at the movies?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Is
that what you guys do? You go to the movies, you slam drinks?
Yeah.
Well, hell, that's the reason movies like Despicable Me 4 are like in the top 10, because people are just getting drunk.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
We're going to lace them up in Austin again tonight. Kenny Payne talked to the media yesterday, Arkansas's top assistant.
We executed in that game. In the half court, we ran our stuff correctly. We set great screens. The spacing was great, which allowed us to do what we do best, which is sort of get the ball in the lane.
They did. They did all of that, and it led to a win over Kentucky and shocked the world, quite frankly. And the Hogs were about a 10 to 12-point underdog, depending where you got it, depending on where it was when it tipped off. And the Oaklawn Sports app has the Razorbacks at a 7.5-point underdog in this game against the Longhorns tonight in Austin. 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Chuck and Z will have the call on the Razorback Sports Network. Let me tell you that if you haven't signed up for the Oaklawn Sports app, new customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. And if you're thinking about doing it, the Super Bowl's on Sunday. The Hogs play tonight. They play again on Saturday. You can download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and sign up today. All kinds of fun prop bets for the Super Bowl. Chuck, we got to get you on like a Super Bowl square. Like we got to do a Chuck and Bo show, like squares. Yeah, we need to do squares. Good. We got to figure that out. We're busy. We got a big week here, but we got to figure that out between now and Sunday. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Yes, he does. We should put him to work on that now.
That's right.
Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. You surprised by them being a 7.5-point dog tonight?
Not really. I mean, Texas is playing well. They won 3 of 4, and they're 25 in the net right now. So I mean, they're respected. If the tournament were to start today, they would be, they'd have a pretty good seed, I think. So, the thing that Arkansas did really well against Kentucky, you think back to the first half of that game. Kentucky led 44-40. Arkansas had a couple of threes and ended up with a 1-point halftime lead. Then they smoked them in the second half. Kentucky hit the majority of their three-pointers in the first half, and they hit them in transition. They stepped into threes, and a lot of times they were open. And that's one of the reasons they shot the percentage they did in the first half. I just think when you've got the ball on the road, making shots is obviously important. But, I mean, as junior high as it sounds, man, you got to get back. I mean, you got to have a get-back coach because if you don't, that's when teams on their home floor start runs. When they hit threes in transition, that's when you're in trouble. And Kentucky was able to do that in the first half. They didn't do it very much at all in the second half. What did they make? 3 threes, I think, in the second half. So if they can play defense like that transitionally tonight and make a few shots, they'll be in the hunt. But now Texas is good on their home floor, and I don't want to minimize that. I think sometimes when you go on the road, it's not so much about you playing poorly. It's about the home team playing above their heads or playing better than they normally do. And, I mean, Texas has done that here.
3-pointers, 3 of 13 for Kentucky in the second half, to your point.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a text here, and you can jump in on the phone or text if you don't want to call. We prefer conversations on the Chuck and Bo Show at 877-377-6963. So you're welcome to jump in here at 7:06 on a Wednesday morning. But I got this text, though, and I think this is representative of a number of people. Hey, man, one game, Phil and Flippin', one game, not enough to change my mind. I'm amazed at the number of people that called in, especially Eddie, stating that Coach Cal is now our coach. I believe they need to wait another 2 or 3 games before they start making statements that they're going to have to take back.
Well, look, you can still be happy and celebrate the win over Kentucky and still have a realistic view of the remainder of the season. I think they should celebrate that win over Kentucky. That was a hard game to win. I mean, it's easy to sit in your chair and say, yeah, well, let me see another one. When you're involved in it, it's a different deal. I mean, you put a lot of work in. That was a hell of a win now. Cal lost, I think, 26 games at Rupp in the 15 years that he was there. I mean, it's incredible. They very seldom lose there. We've had some wins there. I understand the thought that you need to wait and see how this thing plays out. And, that's a point that goes on the other side of the coin, too. Because, I mean, I heard media people say stick a fork in them 2 weeks ago. I mean, actually on television, stick a fork in them. You got to let this thing play out, and that includes the last 10 games. But you should celebrate wins like that. My guess would be, and I think if Phil was honest, he probably was not on the Cal train before the game. He was not on the Cal train after the game. I think the point in all of that is they've not won enough games yet to flip the people that weren't with them, to flip the people that have left the bandwagon over the course of the last month. But a lot of people had predispositions going into the Kentucky game, and I'm not sure that game was enough to change everything for everybody. But now, and I'm going to sound this note of caution again, if it doesn't go well tonight, and if it doesn't go well Saturday, don't pronounce the season over then. If you're not willing to, give them some credit for beating Kentucky, don't put a nail in their coffin if this week does not go well. Because if you look at the way the last 10 games shape up, particularly the last 4, and 5 if you include Missouri at home, although Missouri's a big-time team, underrated. We don't think of them highly enough, frankly. But even if you don't do well tonight, and even if you struggle against Alabama, there are still wins out there. And all that matters is that you get them in these last 10 games.
All these games are going to be tough, and they're going to win some and they're going to lose some.
That's right.
This idea of, and it seems to be the majority sometimes of this negative attitude of I'm going to be critical. I'm going to remain critical. People are not going to get over on me in life. I'm not going to have high expectations, therefore I can't be disappointed. I'm not going to believe in anything. Screw everything and everybody until something shows up on my doorstep and shows me differently. Like the reflection of this attitude is so debilitating that it sort of is alarming to me. If you're in the camp that thought when John Calipari was hired, this is going to be a disaster. I don't know why we bother even playing basketball. This coach clearly can't coach. What is he doing here? I don't even know what planet you're on. John Calipari wins. He may not win a national championship or be in the Final Four every year, but nobody is. Oh, yeah, there's a UConn run here. There's a Billy Donovan run there. There's a Bruce Pearl Final Four over. I mean, Bruce Pearl's been at Auburn for 10 or 11 years, and he's been to 1 Final Four, and they're the number 1 team in the country right now, 9-0, but it hasn't been like that every year. But what they've done is they've been relevant, they've had good seasons, and they haven't all gone the way that they hoped. But Bruce Pearl is a really good coach. Now you go to Cal. He gets hired at Kentucky. This idea of you're waiting around and you'll reserve judgment on whether he was a good hire or this is going to work. Of course it's going to work. It would be an absolute shocker if Arkansas over the next 5 years is not in the tournament like every year and making some sort of run. That would be way more surprising. Logically. Just logically. I'm a realist. No, you're negative. Logically speaking, this guy has the number 1 or 2 recruiting class in the country every year. What's been shocking is they haven't been better right out of the gate because we have, due to his track record, such high expectations. So when I see him go out and play well, I start going, okay, I'm starting to see this thing happen. Not, I'm going to sit around and wait and reserve judgment till he shows me more. This guy's already shown it his entire career. And this idea that we got some guy that's got he's spending 3 nights a week in a nursing home because he can't show up from work. What are we thinking? It's not about oh my gosh, the next game to me right now. It's about them building a program. That's just my take. And I don't understand the idea of why would you ever jump on this guy's band? If you weren't on this bandwagon from day one, who would you rather them hire? So I'm sorry, I just don't get that. I don't relate to it. I'd love to hear.
People are not going to budge from their view, man. People just don't budge from their view until they absolutely have to. That's human nature, and probably more so now. But no, I think you're right. I think you're right. There's that Kentucky narrative that we have not been able to get away from, and I'm using the collective we, but the too old, archaic, can't coach anymore, games passed him by, doesn't recruit the right way. That's a Kentucky narrative. That's a Kentucky narrative, and it's been fed by their people. And there are national media people out there who just, don't like Cal. He's been doing this 33 years. When you're around for a while and you're, in the public eye the way he is, and you deal with media people the way he has to with that job, there's going to be people over the years who just really don't like you. and look for every opportunity to point out your flaws. That's what they do. It's what they live for. And Cal's got that group within some of the national media, and the Kentucky narrative is really kind of fed off itself. And, look, you go back and you look at what's happened with Calipari's career over the last 15 years, and you ask yourself if you wouldn't be real happy if that had happened here.
Yeah, and ask yourself in 15 years at Kentucky if your last 15 years were as good as they were when he was there. I mean, you want to make a bet? Right. What's the bet on that?
Well, and look, I realize right now that because money dominates every discussion, or at least we get back to that eventually when it comes to college sports, I think that feeds a lot of the negativity. I think that feeds the, let me see you win 3 in a row and then get back to me. I think it feeds that talk. Arkansas is going to be fine under Cal. We're not seeing the finished product right now. I'm beginning to wonder, and I don't know anything on this, but I'm beginning to wonder if, maybe they won't max out, with even more NIL money moving forward. I think that I'm not suggesting they sandbag this year. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that they're all in on basketball. I'll just put it that way.
Sterling in Center Ridge. We got some calls. We'll get to them. Sterling, good morning. What's shaking?
Hey, Bo, Chuck. Hope you're having a great day. Guys, I hate to piggyback on what you're saying, but, when you talk about Cal being archaic, basketball, football, some things remain the same. Pick and roll always works. Always have worked. How long have they been playing a 2-3 zone in basketball? There's certain things, blocking and tackling, there's certain things that can't be archaic. You base it in fundamentals. And most of these great coaches or great players that come, they fulfill expectations, and some even go beyond. LeBron was a phenom, beyond expectations. Tiger, when Harbaugh went back to Michigan, he won the national title. When Saban went down to Alabama and how they had that big parade, they were celebrating championships before the championships was won. I mean, when you have these great coaches and these great players, most of the time they succeed because that's who they are. That's what they do. And we got one here. And like you said, his track record speaks for itself. Won everywhere he's been. And down there, and then even like Kevin Boyd down there, and he's getting a hard time down there right now in Alabama. If they leave him alone and let him work, hey, Alabama's going to be Alabama. I mean, they may not win 6 championships, something crazy like that, because it's a different game. But he's going to succeed and be successful.
Right.
Successful people are just successful, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. They're going to be successful. And I'm with you, Bo and Chuck, about these negative people. I mean, if that's what you want to be, it's okay, but own it. I'm just pessimistic. Just say it. That's all you got to say. I mean, I ain't knocking you. I can't help it. I'm baby Rick Schaefer. I can't help it. That's just who I am.
Hey, there's a lot of life in that, I mean, if you want to be pessimistic, that's fine. But, I would just tell you, over here on the other side, there's a lot of life in not being like that, from my perspective.
And I totally agree. Guys, y'all do a great job as always. Still can't believe it. We got these 2 superstar Hall of Famers together on this morning program. I mean, it's just – and Ty and Tommy was good. They're good. They're great.
They're a lot better now that they get some more sleep.
I would imagine, but y'all guys do a great job all day long. Great station. Y'all guys have a great, wonderful day and go home.
Sterling, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sterling.
Rick's and Lowell. Rick, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, so I moved back to Arkansas in 2005, and you guys were on the air, and here we are 20 years later, and I'm talking to you still. It's awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's wild. Thank you.
It is. It's fantastic. But, hey, where I was going with this, and Bo, you kind of took the words out of my mouth about this whole pessimistic thing, but do we forget that when John Calipari came to Arkansas, I think he had, I don't know how many, what was it, Chuck, 1, 2 players in the locker room?
Yeah,
1 or 2.
Pretty much Brazil. And by the way, as Chuck Martin pointed out earlier this week, Brazil went into the draft process So he wasn't here until they basically got the rest of the roster together, and then he's like made his decision. Okay, I'm going to stay. I'll come back if you guys will have me.
So John Calipari literally, I mean, Coach Pittman didn't have to build his program from the ground up, but John Calipari literally had to build this program from the ground up. None of these players had been in the locker room. A couple of them, I think, in Kentucky, but most of these players weren't in the locker room together for more than a few months before we had to start playing basketball. So, my gosh, any other coach in the world, you'd say, oh, it's a rebuilding program. But Lord forbid these fans out here, so-called fans out here, say we're having a rebuilding program. We're having a rebuilding year. My gosh, this guy's doing all he can do, doing a good job while he's doing it, and it's just frustrating to hear so-called Razorback fans beating this guy up the way he is. Hey,
Rick, thanks for the call. We got to hit a break. It's 7:20. By the way, don't forget, tax season is here, ready or not. Luckily, H&R Block is here to put 70 years of tax prep expertise to work for you. So breathe easy and file with confidence at H&R Block. Find an office near you. Back in a minute, more of your thoughts on the Chuck and Bo Show.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies. Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better. Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precident. We'd love to help. Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant. Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweating 'em Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweating'emcosmetic.com and click on the Sweating 'em Edge.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes,
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state, or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I mean, don't be dumb. And I don't mean that to be critical. I mean, literally, don't be dumb.
No. Yes, you do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's in Austin, ready to go tonight. Man, these late night games, Chuck, what do you do all day before we go back to the phones?
Well, we'll go to the arena here in a little while. I think about noon. We'll get everything set up, get it ready to go, and come back, and might sneak a little nap in before tip-off. In fact, I'm certain I will.
So
There's
just
not any might there.
For those who are concerned, you guys get a late checkout when you're with the basketball team?
Yes.
Let's just kick you.
We don't have to be out of our rooms.
They're like, oh, you're playing our team in Austin tonight? You guys got to be out at 11 a.m. I don't know what you're going to do between now and 8 o'clock tip, but can't stay here.
No, they're pretty good about that. Now, I think they
I'm sure it's prearranged.
Turn the rooms over pretty quickly as soon as we get out of here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we got a late checkout.
David's in Searcy. David, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. I may need help pulling these calls. I think my internet has
I got you.
failed.
In my opinion.
Go ahead, David. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
Basketball is set. Razorback basketball is set just the same way that Razorback baseball is set for years to come. As long as they want to be the coach, we're set. The first year hasn't worked out the way Coach Cal expected it to, because two of the best players in the country that he brought in were injured, and we cannot just cast that aside and act like it didn't happen. That was the biggest downfall for this team. And Saturday's game will go down, in my mind, as one of the greatest Razorback games I've ever seen, because it occurred at a time we needed to have that game, because of the way everybody in Kentucky, 80% of the people anyway, I'm sure, were slamming our coach, unjustly slamming our coach. It happened at a great time for a great coach to have it happen, and for any Razorback fans who really care about their coaches, their programs. It just, they girded their loins, they pulled up the bootstraps, and they went to battle, and they just whooped a pretty good team on their court on national TV. Criticism is probably the easiest form of expression. It really is, because you have to have no accountability for what you say. It's just easy. It's just easy. I believe going 5-5 the rest of the season is probably an unrealistic expectation, because the way the league is this year, I believe if we had a dominant inside player, I believe it could happen. And I'm not saying it won't happen. I mean, I saw a Super Bowl that was won by an inferior team because a guy caught a football against his helmet. Anything can happen. But I believe it's too much to ask for this team to go 5-5 against this conference this year. But I'm going to be pulling for them all the way, and can't wait till next season. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, David. He might be right, and I'm not mad about it. I mean, you want to win. You want to win every game. I'm looking at it from a programmatic trajectory standpoint, and I know the roster is going to have big turnover most years for most teams, but I don't know what the example is, Chuck, of one that's quite like this. And I'm not trying – look, they don't need me to make excuse. Cal doesn't need any of us to make excuses for him. I mean, the way he's handled this whole situation, the confidence level he exudes, I think he knows who he is, what he wants to do, and he's not going to struggle landing players. But when you start from zero, I know people want to say, oh, the roster for changing every year. Everybody's got a brand new team. No, you don't. Not like this. Not like the entire organization is brand new. It's different. So personally, I give them grace on that. But even beyond that, I just have seen they've had a lot of injuries. I mean, these are just facts. They've had a lot of injuries, and they've had players that haven't played like they're confident. And that changed on Saturday. Will it remain? We'll see how this season plays out. But I look at, Chuck, more of a big picture thing.
Well, you said something there a minute ago that I think is important, that you do have to look at the big picture. You do have to look at the long term. You talked about a new organization. I think that's the key in all this. It's not just a new team. It's an entirely new organization. I'm looking at the top 25 poll right now, and there's not a first-year coach in this group except Pope, and they're not going to be in the top 25 next week. Yes, and a lot of these teams are filled with brand-new players, but they're not filled with brand-new organizations. Their program's not new. Look at the top 5, Auburn, Duke, Alabama, Tennessee, Houston. And then just go beyond that, Florida, Purdue, Iowa State, Michigan State, Texas A&M. The common denominator in all of those teams is their head coach has been there long enough to build a program, to put his culture in place. Now, in some places, the culture was already there. Places like Duke. Duke's, everybody that's coached there, it seems like, has success. So I know people don't want to be patient, and I know people love to compare what other schools are doing. But find me another school out there, say for Kentucky, who I think we're beginning to see now has been unjustly ranked as high as they've been. Find me another school out there with a new coach who's doing what people seem to demand Cal do in his first year. It's not happening. We're asking for something that has never happened before. In fact, we're demanding it. So let's pump the brakes a little bit on the, this team's underachieving, because that's just not true.
Hey, when you're thinking about watching the game tonight or the Super Bowl this weekend or any event you've got coming up, there's no better place to get all stocked up for your get-together, for your party than Macadoodles. What to watch? Brought to you by Macadoodles. Today is Wine Down Wednesday. That means 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale, which they have lots of sales all the time. You're not going to find better deals, better pricing, or a better selection than you're going to get at Macadoodles. And what they're really known for is their customer service. I mean, when it comes to knowing what kind you want or to try something new. In fact, they've got wine tasting all day, open to close, every day, 7 days a week at Macadoodles, just north of the state line, just north of Bella Vista. And guess who? In Bentonville. Either one of those locations. Go check it out on Wine Down Wednesday. Also, while you're there, you might as well just get stocked up. Competitive pricing and, again, customer service that's unmatched at Macadoodles. And guess who? In Bentonville. Chuck and Bo Show back in a minute. More of your thoughts as the Hogs play Texas tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. It's 7:33. Good morning.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about Bill's...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
So I spent yesterday. You don't mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Hart's. Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermals, socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning and take that as a win by just resisting. And sorry, I put it in your head, but just resist the urge.
Assuming I have it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck Clay's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, and he wants to talk a little bit about Matt Hobbs and the Arkansas pitching staff again, which is loaded again and thought to be, if not the nation's best, right up there at the top. And by the way, the Hogs are preseason top 5 in the coaches poll, and they're surrounded by Texas A&M at 1, Tennessee at 2, LSU at 3, Virginia at 4, Arkansas at 5. 4 of the top 5. Now, preseason's preseason, but there's a reason they come up with that because of the way the roster looks. But there are 4 of the 5 top teams in the country are in the SEC.
We are so lucky in baseball as fans. I mean, for so many reasons. First off, we've got a Hall of Fame coach who every year they're going to be good. Now, how good, you find out. But they're going to be good. And we watch our team play the best teams in college baseball. And, again, 4 of the top 5 in the country are from our league. Now, the thing is, this is nothing new in baseball. I mean, it's been this way for 20 years. And that's what makes Van Horn's run even more remarkable. You think about what this basketball season is. I'm going to draw another basketball analogy. Look at how difficult it is. If we talk about how hard it is to string wins together, and you just got to stay in the fight. And you don't even have to get to 500 to get in. Just get close. They've been doing this every single year in baseball for 20 years. Every year. And Van Horn, every year, has Arkansas somewhere in the middle of the hunt. Now, some years are better than others. And I know for a lot of people, until or unless they win a national championship, and this is how spoiled we are, until or unless they win a national championship, it's going to be, so-so year. We are so lucky, and we take this thing for granted. You need to be old enough to remember when it wasn't like this, to have a real appreciation, I think, for the way it is now. But I know so many people, particularly those, that are close enough where they can go every game. They can't wait for this thing to get started, and that's where they'll be. However many times they play Baum Walker this year, that's how many times they'll be there.
Hogs are opening the season against Washington State, the first of a 4-game series at Baum Stadium on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Our hearts will be full.
Take your sweetie to the ballpark.
That's right.
Hey, and if she keeps score, man, you got a good one.
Oh my gosh.
She keeps the scorecard.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's
I don't know.
You
that might
keep her, man.
That might be a little much. I mean,
that's a lot to ask.
That is. It's a lot to ask.
That woman's never been born. Yeah. Maybe she's never been born.
Yeah. I know how it was when you called games. I imagine it's like this with Phil. But you've got a lot of ladies, a lot of Brent Musburger ladies that are listening to Phil now on the radio at the game with their headphones on. And it used to be Chuck. I mean, they didn't want to talk to the guy next to him. They wanted to hear Chuck's golden pipes call the game. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. They're all in on local banking, convenient, friendly locations all over our state so you can bank better. Check them out online, fsbank.com. Bank better at First Security Bank, member FDIC. We go to the phones again, and we find Gentle Ben. Gentle Ben in Saline County. Good morning, buddy. What's happening?
Hey, man, all these good callers and y'all stuff, too, along with it and all that. Man, I get spastic when you leave me on so long and I hear all this good stuff. I don't even know. I think of 1,000 things to talk about, and I know I only get to talk about one for about a minute and a half or less. But I just say it's like going to heaven.
Wow.
But anyway, it's great.
They have sports talk in heaven.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, one of our pastors one time said that when you get to heaven, one of the fun things you get to do, maybe not the whole time we're up there, but he said you get to be and do whatever you want to be. And I thought, well, I'd like to have me a sports talk show or whatever, or something like that, or be a color commentator for, football, just whatever, all the things that I love and all that. And you're right about the baseball thing. We're very blessed because I'm 73, and I've been keeping up with baseball for years when I was a little boy, and I can remember the days when I was wondering if we was ever going to have a winning team or, play in the World Series or whatever. So I do remember those dog days of summer when it wasn't worth the flip, and I appreciate what we got now. And I also appreciate what we got now in basketball because just a lot of things, I thought when he mentioned, I don't know basketball like other people do, but I'm just saying, when he said he was going to start with 8 or 9 players, you know, Cal did, and he said, I just want to pour myself into about 8 or 9 players. I said, oh, please, pour yourself into them, but please don't do 8 or 9. You know, get 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them, then pour yourself into them, you know. But I'm really feeling good about the Texas game. You know, I think most every coach that we've ever had that coached for us when we played Texas at Texas, they beat them there at least one time. So I think we are too. And I still believe, Chuck, that yesterday or whenever it was that I said that I was concerned about them having dead legs. I didn't mean that they weren't hustling and everything, because I really was proud of that. But I still believe and I hope that the next 10 games that we do have our legs underneath us so we can hit them threes and layups and free throws and all like that. So anyway, thanks for letting me have the line. I know my time is up, but appreciate y'all, and God bless everybody.
Well, we appreciate you.
Man.
Thanks for going. You know, I will say, Chuck, that was the week they had off. Not off in terms of they didn't practice, but they didn't play a midweek game going into Lexington. And, you know, for all these teams, fatigue can play a factor. But as we've talked about numerous times, hardly anybody plays more than 8 or 9 guys.
Well, and everybody's tired at the end of the game. I mean, I can point back to the end of the game where I think it was Jackson Robinson went to the line for Kentucky and missed 2 free throws. This guy's an 85% free throw shooter. That was a dead-legged kid. But sometimes people use that term as though they just don't have it. There wasn't anybody dead-legged at the start of that game. And there were a lot of people with their tongues dragging at the end. But there wasn't anybody dead-legged when that thing started. So I think a lot of that's just the wear and tear of the game that everybody deals with. And I don't think Arkansas' situation's all that much different than anybody else's.
877-377-6963. If you want to get in on the Chuck and Bo Show, Clay Henry at 8 o'clock. Tom Hart, who's calling the game for ESPN2, will join us at 8:30. We continue to remind you, it's tax season, and taxes are hard. Filing with H&R Block, it's easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy on your max refund guarantee. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you at H&R Block. 746 on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermals, socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
You did.
But I spewed it out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, we got some good stats out of the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
I know we do.
Bart, that's the thing. He might get Wally pipped on this deal. I mean, he might have to split time with Edward on the.
There's an opportunity here
in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Well, you're taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Great stats here on first-year major successful high major coaches, first-year records at their schools who have gone on to have success in their records in year one.
Just some perspective on what Coach Cal and Coach Pope are doing. So Cal is 13-8 right now, 2-6 in league play. Mark Pope is 15-7, 4-5 in league play. Here are four other head coaches that are having a lot of success right now in their first year at their school. Nate Oates at Alabama, 16-15, 8-10 in league play. That was his first year. Dan Hurley at UConn was 16-17 and 6-12 in league play his first year. Todd Golden at Florida, 16-17, 9-9 in league play. And TJ Otzelberger, the Iowa State head coach, who has had a lot of good seasons there recently, was 22-13, 7-11 in Big 12 play.
Boy, Chuck, you know what stands out with Oates and Todd Golden is their records overall 16-15 and 16-17 in their first year. Not great overall, but their league records 8-10 and 9-9. That'd get you in the NCAA tournament this year. This league is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it is
on another. We keep hearing about it, but it's just true.
It is true, and you know, here's the thing, and I can't overstate this, and I know sometimes people don't like hearing things like this, but man, that first year is a very, very difficult year to win. And I'll go back to, you know, what I said earlier. I mean, Holtz had a good first year, Nutt had a good first year in football, Pelfrey had a good first year basketball, but it was fool's gold. So it's really hard to come in and in that first season have a great year. Most of the time, if you're things are going well in that first year, you're going to have some stumbles, but you kick it into high gear down the stretch. You know, there's 18 conference games. Well, they've only played 8. There's 10 of them to go. So the worth of the season is about to be determined. If it goes well over the last 10 games, we're going to forget about the 21 games played before that. We're going to forget all about them. But if it doesn't go well, obviously we'll say, you know, we could see it coming. But I still think that what we talk about over the summer regarding this basketball season is going to be determined over the next month. We're going to forget about everything else except maybe beating Kentucky.
Yeah, great point. By the way, as we head towards the 8 o'clock hour, congrats to the women's golf program. They won the Puerto Rico Classic. They're number 2 in the country right now.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Storey talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye. Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Todd Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, expected to see cloudy skies, at least early, with a chance of some showers and even a few patchy areas of drizzle. Limited sunshine throughout the afternoon, low 60s north, upper 60s south. Partly cloudy sky later on tonight. Overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Ty Richardson for American Patriot Promotions. They have their Berryville Gun Show coming up Saturday, February 15th and Sunday, February 16th at the Carroll County Fairgrounds in Berryville. Tickets are just $10 per person for the entire weekend. Only $8 for veterans, military, police, and first responders. Children 16 and under are free. For more information, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Good pick, good pick.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
The drinking all day.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt,
I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need. Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need. We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion. Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help. Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's Facebook. The website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Go Hogs.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. And you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
How do you get restaurants, how do you tell them to make the bacon the way that you want the bacon? Because sometimes if you order it crispy, it comes out and it's just like charred.
You say, I want it crispy, not charred. Sometimes when you guys bring it out, it's charred. I don't want it charred.
When it's charred, it's like...
No, hell no. That's right. Now, I'm just going to tell you, if it's charred, I'm going to send it back.
Bring that plate out.
No, hell no.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Chuck, I marvel at your ability to just travel and keep it all together and the energy level. I don't know. It must be the sweat no edge, because you just keep ticking. You take a licking, you keep ticking. You're there every day, and this is really a setup to find out what time you're going to be in tomorrow after an 8 p.m. tip-off in Austin tonight, which will get you home at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
It may be right at 6. It might be right at 7.
Might be 7:30.
No, it won't be 7:30. It'll be between 6 and 7.
As you're contractually agreed to.
That's
it's
right.
whenever you can make
I'm
it.
obligated to be there by at least 7.
Yeah, it's whenever you can make it.
6:59.
Yeah, Clay Henry is the longtime former publisher of Hogs Illustrated, Hall of Famer, columnist, and he's hijacked the Hog Pod for me. Chuck. So I get this email. Hey, you need to voice this thing. The intro to the Hog Pod, which if you've never heard it, quite proud of it, just because it's a platform to interview coaches and players and their stories and their journeys and then moments like, hey, what's the season going to be like? So I know that Clay, like 2-3 years ago, he said, hey, I'm doing this long form interview with pitching coach Matt Hobbs every year, so I should just do that Hog Pod. Don't tell Bo. And the next thing I know, I'm getting in my inbox the script to introduce Clay Henry doing my Hog Pod. And now it's like a tradition. So I can't get in to do the Matt Hobbs interview anymore because Clay has done what Clay did over the years. Chuck, we'd all be sitting there in the local media waiting for the press conference to end, and we're going to try to sneak a question in with that coach that nobody else got on the way out the door, and Clay's blocked you. He's already in. He's already walking with the coach, and there's no getting to the coach. I mean, that's how you get in the Hall of Fame.
That was his signature move.
It so was, and he's still doing it today. So I say that with great affection. But here now is Clay Henry. Good morning, Clay.
Well, it didn't sound very affectionate.
Well, that's why I had to clean it up at the end.
It sounded like an old bitter fart to me. That's what it sounded like.
Filter, Clay, filter.
That's as far as I'm going today.
Oh, clean it up. Brought to you by Hog Gutters. They can help you get cleaned up too.
I'm sorry,
Hog
Hog wants you. He wants me.
Oh man. Well, hey, look, I don't know that that's true, but I'll talk to him about that.
Okay,
but as long as you can do it, and you do a great job of it. Well, what did you learn in your time with the Arkansas pitching coach? As the Hogs come out today as a preseason number 5 in the coaches poll.
Yeah, I asked him to pick the player of the year, the pitcher of the year, because he's had him. He told me what Kevin Kopps was going to do in the winter of 21, I guess January 21, and he goes out and he's the Golden Spikes, Dick Hauser. I mean, who saw that coming? But he did. I mean, he called it. And he says, y'all going to be writing about this guy. So he's got an alien pitch. And dadgummit, he had an alien pitch. And then, of course, it might have been a little easier. He did classify that Monday as be a little bit of dumb luck, but I don't think so. I think he knew the data, knew exactly what Kevin was going to do because he'd seen him do it to the Arkansas hitters. Then he had Hagen Smith. So he's had the pitcher of the year 2 of the last 6 years at Arkansas. And I was just like, who's it going to be now? Is there a guy on this roster? And I didn't say maybe, is it going to be this year? But is there a guy on the roster? And he goes, yeah, there's several. He says, but you just don't know how they're going to handle adversity. And it could be, a little bit injury here or there, or it could be, maybe can't locate his pitch for, a game or 2. Does that affect his confidence? There are a lot of things that can interrupt that. But he's got some dudes now. I'm telling you, he's got the same type talent that they've had at Arkansas for several years now as far as pitching.
Overall, go ahead, Chuck.
Well, I was just going to ask when you talk to Matt about the pitching staff, lots of great pitchers. What do you think that's going to mean in terms of the rotation? Are there guys who are candidates for jobs? Or how much? Yeah. Obviously, there's good pitchers, but how much competition for spots is going on?
Well, the first weekend is 4-game series with Washington State. That's next weekend. And then they'll play 3 in Arlington. And they hope they get it to 3, that maybe the pitchers decide. But they've got 4 top-end candidates for weekend starting rotation. And, Gage Wood, Gabe Gackle, Landon Bottle Cheese. And by the way, just call him Cheese. It's a lot easier than saying all that other stuff. That's what the players call us, coaches. And then Root, Eric Root. Zach Root. I'm not looking at the roster. It's Zach Root, transfer from East Carolina. But those 4 guys, and the 2 transfers, cheeses from Ohio State, they're lefties. And it really is interesting that all four of these guys, will be competent starters. And I think you're going to see them, pitch a lot of innings. And then, but the other fascinating part, Gabe Gackle was reliever, closer last year as a true freshman. And you think, well, you move him to starting rotation. Well, that's what he was. You guys probably understand baseball as well as anybody that I've been around in the media, both of you. And you know that every position player on the team probably was a shortstop before they got here. I mean, or at some point in their career. That's just the best players are, football players or quarterbacks or tailbacks. Best players in baseball are shortstop. But every pitcher, you think, well, okay, this guy's a reliever, this guy's a closer. Well, none of them were that. They're all starting pitchers, so they all have the ability to be a starting pitcher. And this staff is like that. But I think the fascinating part is not so much the starting pitching, is just the depth overall of the pitching and the way Christian Fouch has developed as a closer.
You mentioned Gackle. He's kind of the one that I sort of wonder if he's not the next great one. I mean, there are other candidates, but I mean, he's the one that I look at and say, if there's going to be an All-American in that group, he's the one.
He's got 4 pitches. He likes it. You can tell. He never spit the bit. I mean, he charged through and was electric. In his in the SEC is not easy. Not especially for a true freshman. He just sailed right through it. You can argue that what he did at the back end was just as important as what Hagen Smith did on the front end all year. Was able to help you in multiple games on the weekend, and that's not easy for a freshman. But I think that they have. I mean, Fouch at the back end really gives them the luxury of making Gackle a starter, in my opinion.
How about the job Clay Henry with us that Matt Hobbs has done? What makes him? And I think Van Horn's hired great coaches, by the way. And I think Bobby Werniss is like the next guy in line on
superstar.
You could see it, and I love his energy. But what Hobbs has done, and the program, Chuck talked about it yesterday, that Van Horn has built, talked about it earlier today. It's remarkable. But when they've had great pitching coaches in the past, and it's like, how are they going to replace that guy? I mean, these guys just roll out a staff every year.
Well, first of all, it's great recruiting. And, the culture just kind of, like the dominoes just keep falling. And they have guys that they didn't take Gackle, they get him to school. And they're getting pitchers to school because they want to work with Matt Hobbs. The analytics, the deep dive that they do into mechanics and the facilities that they have, the pitching lab, that he basically said, this is what we need, and they gave it to him, similar to what he had at Wake Forest, except about 4 times that in size. But he's got a good staff. You talk about Zach Barr and DJ Baxendale, and you mentioned Werniss is turned into just a deluxe catching coach. And he wasn't a catcher; he played third base, but he's learned it, and he's able to really develop catchers. Their blocking tools. All this goes together with pitching, and holding runners, all that. And hey, the guys in the lab, they're the ones that suggested to. I'm talking about Baxendale and Barr suggested that Fouch change from a 4-seam fastball to a 2-seam, and man, it just took off after that. He's a different pitcher now, and that was those guys. And I think that everything that Hobbs does is part of. I mean, it's not just one thing. I mean, he can recruit, he can motivate, he can be tough, and he's going to be a head coach too. I mean, you're talking about guys that have the right stuff to be a head coach. but he lets the catchers call their pitches. Who does that in college baseball? I mean, most pitching coaches are pretty arrogant. They're not giving that up.
Yeah.
But he does because he thinks it's the best way to get the information that, to call a pitch, that the catcher sees it better than he does from the dugout. But he, I really enjoy the sit down with him. He's as good an interview as there is that I've done in any sport with any coach. I mean, it is an hour. That Hogs Plus interview.
I know.
Out Monday.
I know. I really used to enjoy doing it before you hijacked it there.
Before you took it away from
him. The entire conversation that, let me just tell you, that Clay Henry had on my podcast, the Hog Pod, with Bo Mattingly, is coming out Sunday.
Well,
so I just enjoy that. And
featuring Clay
featuring Clay Henry, which I need to quit talking about, or he's going to start taking some more from me. But no, honestly, great job.
No, I don't want to interrupt fishing too much.
Well, listen, your photo right now on YouTube and where we stream the show on social media, we have got a photo because we had to have you on the phone today. We got a photo of you, and you're holding a giant big brownie, which I know, you're just gonna live off that for at least half a day. But it's a beautiful photo. So all those photos that you've sent me of you holding these giant trout, finally one of them has made it onto the stream of the show. So it's a big week for you all the way around.
That was my lifetime dream. So I've done it. I don't know what else to go for.
All right, we'll get you out of here with this. Just open-ended question on Arkansas basketball coming off that win at Kentucky.
Okay.
And can they win 5 of their last 10, or where does Clay Henry set with the Hogs here after seeing that performance?
Yeah, so you have to be careful, and what they're facing is pretty much the gauntlet. Everything about their schedule is tough. There's not any easy touches left for them, and I don't know how many they can win. But first, we need to see, can they replicate what they did Saturday night? I mean, that was electric, and I mean They got to the magic level. I mean, it was unbelievably good in that atmosphere, that situation. Now, do those guys play anywhere close to that tonight in Austin? I don't know. So I want to see if that was a one-time deal. I'm talking about shooting mainly because the rest of it they can do. Defense and the rebound has been better. But if they can come close to that, 55% at Rupp for a road team, I don't know that that's happened too much. Now, I will say that Kentucky's defense isn't great, and they're going to face a much sterner defensive test tonight. So I guess I just want to see a little more, guys.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are in terms of what it means for this year. Clay, thanks a bunch. Good stuff, as always. Enjoyed it. Go have yourself a day.
Okay, look forward to tonight. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Clay.
Thanks, Clay.
All right.
The Hogs open baseball season on Valentine's Day against Washington State. Basketball team playing tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2, and you can hear Chuck call the game with Matt Zimmerman as well. Hey, if you're having issues like we are sometimes with Clay where we got to clean them up a little bit, but this is about your gutters or drainage around your home, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. HogGutters.com. They're locally owned and operated. Over 30 years of experience, they do it all. Seamless gutters, made on-site trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, so every job comes with a 20-year warranty. They service all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or text them. And by the way, if you think you have an issue or you're not quite sure, snap a picture of what you're looking at and let Mike and the team at hoggutters.com know about it. You can go on their website, get the number to text to. Hog Trough Gutters, it's hoggutters.com to get more information. Chuck's in Austin. I'm in studio. Wherever you are today, I hope you're having a great Wednesday. More of your thoughts coming up at 8:18 on a Wednesday. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace, or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you adhere to a budget, Chuck?
Not as well as I should.
Yeah, same.
Some people are like that.
I admire those people. I'm
not one of them.
I need to get on that plan.
I need to get on that plan too.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Speaking of budgets, it's tax season. We want to remind you, because you don't want to get caught late on this. Ready or not, you got to do it. Luckily, H&R Block is here to put 70 years of tax prep expertise to work for you. So breathe easy and file with the confidence at an H&R Block office near you. So Chuck is in Austin. He's got a long day ahead of him. He's got a nap, maybe a margarita. I would recommend going and kind of setting up at the arena, you know, be there for the shoot around, be part of the team. This is just me. You do whatever you want. then a margarita, then a nap, and you'll be fired tonight. But, I mean, you have your own routine, so I don't know what that is. Maybe you could share it with us. But I know a nap, I know I got part of that right.
Well, everything's right except the margarita part. I don't do the margarita.
Well, I was thinking Austin. You know, Austin has great margaritas.
Yeah. No, I know. And if it was not a working night, then I'd probably be right in the middle of that. But, yeah, we'll go to the arena today, get it set up, and come back and grab a little nap and go watch the game.
Edwards filling in for Bart in the Chevy Fayetteville Situation Room.
I think we have a situation in Chuck's hotel room. I was watching the video stream.
Oh, no. Well, what do
and
we
I
have?
saw a Starbucks cup in hand. So I'm curious what you're drinking, Chuck. Did you get a latte?
Well, I'm drinking just a whatever their coffee of the day is. Pike Place, I think is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I went downstairs and
That is
of course,
no-
in search of free coffee.
That is
but
no
they
La
had
Quinta
no
you're
free
staying
coffee.
at, is it?
No. And
Nothing
so,
against La Quinta. I'm just saying. I don't know that I'm not aware of them in Starbucks. So
I think it's actually a leftover Christmas cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
what
a
it-
Christmas
yeah,
ornament.
Oh, well.
Christmas
I think
cup.
it's a leftover Christmas cup.
Tis
that
the
they use
season.
downstairs.
They
So,
knew that Arkansas was coming off that win over Kentucky, and they
Yeah,
just
I
wanted to
guess
keep
that's
that holiday feeling.
But no, I do not have a latte. There's no foreign substances in this other than a couple of Splenda. So there's no milk.
There's no oat milk?
No, there's no oat milk or anything like that in here.
The Starbucks cup made me miss Bart, so I had to comment and see what you were having.
Well, if it was Bart's cup, there'd be cream and oat milk, and God knows what all in there.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I mentioned this
Everything but coffee.
towards the last part of the hour, but the number 2 Arkansas women's golf team, they're number 2 in the country. They got a winning streak going of 4 tournaments. They were team 15 under at the Puerto Rico Classic in the final round. And Maria Jose Marin shot a 9 under. She's unbelievable, by the way, to claim the individual title, her second of the season. I mean, it's not necessarily a topic we get into a lot, but the women's golf program is having quite a year. And so congratulations to them.
Shauna does a great job.
Yeah,
really great job. Year
Really
after
great
year.
coach.
And, you're talking about winning the tournaments in golf, not just like finishing top 2 or 3, top 5. You're somebody say, oh, they got so many top 10s. This is actually the team winning the tournament, which means everybody plays well. They're winning tournaments, and they're having the medalists too. So there's some real dominance going on there.
We haven't really talked much about the reseat of Bud Walton since the day and day after that it was announced, but I
Next
noticed.
loss, though. Next loss.
I noticed that Tennessee basketball has raised their season ticket prices 6% and added a 10% talent fee in hopes of adding $7 million to their budget. So sometimes it's nice to hear what other people are doing. And I know Tennessee, is on a little bit better trajectory than Arkansas has been this year. But again, Cal's in year 1. We're going to talk to Tom Hart coming up next. He's calling the game on ESPN2 tonight. Great broadcaster, fine play-by-play man. And we'll get his thoughts on this matchup with Arkansas and Texas when we come back on the Chuck and Bo Show. I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
Bro, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Burlsworth with his new glasses. Looks like Clark Kent. This guy is dominating offensively. Dean, he's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what college football is all about.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace, or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta, book,
Dad,
Facebook.
it's the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're losing the gist of what I'm saying.
Not.
You're
I
losing.
am not, but I had a moment to pounce on a great moment, and I did. I agree with you, and I love you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's in Austin to call the game on the radio tonight. Tom Hart is the play-by-play voice you'll find on the SEC Network as well as ESPN. Tonight's game, 8 o'clock Central at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. And Tom's joining us now from Austin. Tom, thanks for making time for us. Been a while, man. Great to catch up with you.
Yeah, I'm just curious. How do we settle on Chuck and Bo instead of Bo and Chuck?
Chuck is he's a Hall of Famer.
Age, Tom.
He's a veteran, and when he leaves and rides into the sunset, it'll just be Bo Show instead of we just get rid of Chuck and it's just Bo Show.
Chuck, you hear that? He's already planning for your departure. What a partner!
Well,
you think he's planning for it? Holy cow! I've been looking for an exit strategy for like 3 or 4 months.
That's great. That's great. Well, man, it's always great to visit with you. I hope you guys get to catch up. There's no better pro and calling games than Tom, and love always when he's in town. You can find Tom at Herman's if he's in Fayetteville, like the night before a game, probably with Will Roth or something. You'll find Tom, saying hello to Nick there. But man, I'm sure like the rest of us, watching Arkansas play against Kentucky, were you thinking, well, this is kind of more of what I thought we might see from Cal's team this year, even though everything's brand new and they've had injuries and all that. I'm curious just what your feeling is on this team after that game.
Well, it was really hard for me, to be honest, to detach the emotion of that game, and I thought it bled through my TV. I was back home after an early game, and the angst and the energy and the electricity in that arena to separate that from the game results, even individual possessions. And Cal talked about it post game, and his guys talked about it. But there's just a different focus from a team, and you don't see it all the time, but you see it often enough that if you've been around, you can recognize it. There's a different energy from a team that's playing specifically for their coach in a very specific moment, and that's what I saw from that team. And I thought that, from hey, is this the team that we've been waiting to see? Ivica knocking down threes and playing really loose and confident, I thought was a difference maker in that game. I didn't think he was going to be make or break guy for this team over the course of the season, but in that game, that was like oh wow, Arkansas showed up to play tonight, and I think that raised a lot of eyebrows on the Kentucky defensive side. Anytime you're playing your defense to the scouting report and you're getting beat, then all of a sudden there's question marks in the back of your head, and you're looking back over the bench at, Coach, you said this guy wasn't going to make all these threes. now he's, drilled 4 of them. Like, what's wrong? Is it us, or is it the scouting report, or is it me? And yes, I thought that energy that the Hogs came out with that night was different than we've seen, and for a good reason.
Tom, you've called the league a long time, and I kind of feel this way right now, and I want to get your thoughts that, you can't predict anything that's going to happen on Tuesday or Wednesday night based on what happens Saturday. And conversely, you can't predict anything that's going to happen Saturday on what happens Tuesday or Wednesday. Forget the fact that there may be 12 or 13 teams in the league. I just think it's as unpredictable right now as I've ever seen it, and I'd just be interested in your thoughts on that.
Well, Chuck, I was looking at the numbers earlier this morning because I got up at the crack of dawn to prepare for the show.
Of course.
I know you did.
Oh, yeah.
The SEC is 14th in the country. Well, I think there's 30 conferences in home win percentage. Usually, the home win percentage is really high when there's parity, because if there's 1 or 2 dominant teams, they rack up a bunch of road wins. It throws that whole thing out of whack. I think that's a great example of what you're talking about. It's not just what did you do Saturday? Can you replicate that Tuesday, Wednesday, or vice versa? It's, well, you're taking care of business at home, right? No, no, that's not the case necessarily. Now, I saw an extreme example of that. I had Florida at Tennessee on Saturday. That was a 50-point swing between games. Tennessee went down there, got walloped by 30. And then they came out, and I'll be quite honest with you guys, we're at practices on Friday, and both from a Tennessee perspective and a Florida perspective, the energy was opposite of the game result. Florida was very confident. They were healthy. Tennessee knew they were going to be without Zakai Ziegler, likely without Igor Milicic, who didn't play in that game. And the thought was, golly, we're facing this team that beat us by 30, and we're missing our best player, and maybe the die is already cast. And Tennessee just locked them up defensively. I think each and every team obviously has its own identity, but the league is so good this year because everybody has something that they are just out of this world good at. For Tennessee, that's defense. For Florida, it's their backcourt. You go all the way down the list. Auburn seems to be good at everything, but there is a subset of teams in this league that are elite offensively, and there's another subset that are elite defensively, and only a couple really cross over. And I think that's why we see such unpredictable games night in and night out.
Not to say that Arkansas's win on Saturday means they're going to roll from here. Certainly, it's probably, at best, maybe 5 wins out of the next 10 games, just because of how hard the league is. Maybe it'll be a little better. Maybe it won't be that good. But what do you see that Arkansas has got to do in this game? How would you kind of set this matchup? The Hogs, a 7.5-point underdog, according to the Oakland Sports app this morning.
7.5 dogs? Yeah. That surprises me. I hadn't dug that up yet. I think this game is much more competitive, and I honestly, not just I'm on the phone with you guys, I've seen Texas a lot this year. I would have it more as a pick-em. I mean, I think especially because of how Arkansas played on Saturday and the environment that they played in. The arena will be fun tonight. It's a great arena for people who haven't been here. It's one of the nicest in the country. It's not necessarily, rough. It's not rambunctious. It's not the jungle. I was here for the A&M game, and that might be one of the best crowds they've had in terms of energy, and for good reason, because I hadn't faced them in forever. It's a very individually talented team, Texas is. Trey Johnson is one of these great freshmen that we see, every other year in this league. He's, I think, maybe on the high side of a Brandon Miller-type player. Seth Greenberg, when we had him last week, compared him to Ray Allen. I don't think he's that elite a shooter, but he's certainly a volume scorer and a volume shooter. Jordan Pope is the scoring point guard, and everybody at Arkansas knows what Tremont Mark can do, certainly. So, I think this is a game that boils down to, can the Arkansas post players score at the rim? And in terms of evolution as a team and as a player, that's where Due Theroux has really changed his game from what he was at Kentucky to what he is this year, and that's a difference maker. At the rim, I just pulled these numbers up. At the rim this year, he's scoring on 67% of his shots. Last year, he was at 53%. They always thought, this coaching staff, even last year, thought he could be an elite finisher, but he wasn't. He certainly wasn't in games, and now he's taken his game to that level.
I'd be interested to know what you've seen when you watch Texas about their interior defense. I mean, you talked about scoring at the rim. Kentucky's good, but they're not great defensively. What have you seen from Texas in that regard to make you think that that's one of the keys for Arkansas tonight?
Well, by the way, you could say, especially after watching the game on the flight last night, I think Kentucky's maybe just flat bad defensively.
Yeah, they may be.
I didn't think it'd get much worse in some of the effort and execution they showed last year, but it's not a great defensive team. Texas isn't necessarily long. They play a 6-7-4 and a 6-11-5, and Shedrick at the 5 is serviceable. But he's not terribly physical, and then especially the guy they bring off the bench, Jason Kent, who transferred in from Indiana State. I just remember being at the Ole Miss shoot-around, and this was a week or so ago, and they made it a point that when 25 is in the game, that's the guy we attack. We go after him no matter who has the ball. You attack him because he's not an SEC-level defender. And so there are certainly opportunities on the interior against this team. Kaluma's a great scorer, but he probably looks to score more than he does defend. and he's had a couple of big games. He had 34 against Auburn and against Janai Broome, so that was a big matchup for them. But they'll often go, when Shedrick is on the bench, and that's 6'11", and they bring in another 6'9" guy and another 6'7" guy. It's not a huge front line, and it's not an overtly physical front line.
I got you.
Tom, great stuff. Always appreciate you making time for us. Always appreciate the shout-outs for the Hog Pod. Nobody's done it better for us. Thank you.
Well, nobody's helped me with my game prep better. So I just hope Chuck makes it to the game tonight and doesn't find an off-ramp before tip.
Dude, it is a long day for Chuck. It's a long day.
It is a long day.
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do all day.
Tom's going to get a nap in before tip-off time. Don't let him kid you.
There's no doubt about it. That is my fuel.
Yeah. I mean, you guys travel about the same. Tom maybe a little bit more because he's got to get on the road every time. He doesn't get to do a lot of home. Back in COVID, Tom could call it from his kitchen.
That's right.
Remember those days?
We didn't know how good we had it, did we?
Boy, that's the truth. We did know how good we had it. We just knew it wouldn't last forever.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, man. Have a good call. We'll talk again soon. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Chuck, I'll see you later.
All right.
Tom Hart, play-by-play man, ESPN and the SEC Network. Not a better human in the business.
He's a great guy.
And also a great pro. We're brought to you in part by the pros at Pascal. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, they know 2025 can be expensive coming out of the holidays, and they're here to help. The new year, you get to enjoy no payments, no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging HVAC system, or upgrading your electrical. The Pascal Pros, here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Just visit gopascal.com today to schedule your service at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, that's the biggest thing, and professional service. See dealer for details. Chuck and Bo back in a minute. It's 8:45. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach.
I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
You know, one of the things that the way I like to coach, I solicit a lot of feedback from the girls. And there's that language that you develop with your players that those seniors already know. And so when I'm asking them to do something, they can translate it for me, you know? Or when I'm needing feedback from them, they kind of know what I'm wanting to hear.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you enjoy lunch with me?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not any better than anybody else's lunch or anything like that, but I mean, it's all right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Do you imagine Chuck and I having Prosecco at Blakeman's on Friday afternoon?
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
Prosecco all day,
That'd be
Onyx
awesome.
coffee all day. They have that at all times, but they're doing like a grand opening, sort of just come and see and celebrate and enjoy and the energy. I'm just looking forward to going in there with Chuck and just sort of walking around the store and talking to the great folks at Blakeman's and all the others that'll be there. 10 to 5, open to everyone on Friday to see Blakeman's new fine jewelry store there in Rogers. I said, like, Ben, why did you guys, your store before was great, but now it's bigger and it's more amazing and the lighting and there's more selection. And he goes, honestly, we deserve a place like Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley. It's close enough to get here, deserves a place like this. You shouldn't have to travel a great distance to have something like this. You work hard and when you want to celebrate. So I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to get Chuck, like, I don't know, I'm going to buy him something.
That's awesome.
Yeah. After
Cufflinks.
it'll probably
Some
take
cufflinks.
maybe it'll probably take like 3 Proseccos to get me there, and I'll start feeling generous, and I'll be like, you know, what?
10 to
Those
5. You got a long
limited
time to
edition
get there.
Chuck and Bo Show cufflinks.
That's right.
That's what we need.
Coming soon, along with a Bart Pullman cutout to be found in the student section, maybe in time for Saturday's Alabama game. You know, Tom was shocked at that
should
number,
happen.
by the way. Yeah, that needs to happen. Did you hear Tom's authentic surprise on Arkansas being a 7.5-point underdog tonight?
Yeah. You know, it's that is a pretty large spread. Now, again, Texas is 25th in the net right now. Texas has a good record, and they've been good at home, and they've won 3 of 4. That's one thing you always have to think about. particularly when your league's good. He was talking about the number of teams that have won on the road. You have to be a good team to go on the road and win in this league. Sometimes it's about how the other guys are playing. It's not always about are we making shots. These other teams are good too, and Texas is playing well right now. So I'm a little surprised at 7.5, but I understand why Texas is favored.
If you're looking for a light refreshment to watch the game with tonight, you know what to go with, right?
I'm looking at it on the screen right now.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer because it tastes like Yuengling, and it's only 95 calories. And it tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer. The next generation of light beer, Flight by Yuengling. Do yourself a favor, give it a try. 8 o'clock tip tonight. I don't
804. 804.
Oh, let's
is
not
what it's
slide
set
that
for
anymore.
right now.
Yeah, let's not.
No,
slide
804, and there's a game. I think Syracuse and Duke play the first game on ESPN2 tonight. So hopefully that'll be a rout, and we'll get this thing started on time. That's what I'm pulling for.
For those of you that had Kentucky fans coming at you on social media, and you're probably already aware of this if you're one of those people because you got like a side-eye view of Kentucky now. They lost again last night at Ole Miss by like 14.
Gave up 98.
Yeah, they're not playing any defense, are they?
Yeah, 54 in the first half. Ole Miss is a good team, but 54 points and a half. First off, that's hard to do for an offensive juggernaut. But I'm telling you, I saw one projection that said Kentucky's a bubble team now, and I wouldn't argue with that.
Well, that's an example of things that you've mentioned throughout the season, like how quickly things will change week to week in this league. And there'll be ebb and flows.
10 games to go. Yeah. You got 5 weeks, and there's going to be a lot of twists and turns.
We told you earlier what to watch, presented by Macadoodles, is Arkansas and Texas tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Missouri's at Tennessee at 6 o'clock.
That's going to be a good game.
On the SEC Network. And by the way, sometimes you forget, like the Super Bowl starts at 5:30, like kickoffs at 5:30 Central Time on Sunday, and it's on Fox. Chuck, have a great call. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
Thanks, guys.
And safe travels. Chuck and Bo Show. Have a great day.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former